G'day viewers and welcome to Heavenly Tai Chi and Yoga. My name is Todd and this is your 20-minute bedtime yoga flow. So let's get to it. So we're sitting in Sukhasana or easy posture. A couple of points to note about this posture. One, if your knees are rising up and it feels uncomfortable, you can place a cushion underneath your knees. Alternatively, you can place a cushion underneath your buttocks or rise your hips up, taking pressure off the knees. If you don't require any of that, then remove the fleshy part of your buttocks away so you're sitting on your sit bones. We want a nice long spine and that will encourage that. Now bring our hands to prayer pose and we start our class with a sankalpa or dedication. So in our mind's eye, let's send support, love and energy to someone we know who needs a little extra bit of that right now. And slowly open your eyes. Now we're going to go into our body awakening series. So let's interlock the fingers, extend the hands out in front. We get a nice stretch through the shoulders. Let's turn the hands over, palm facing out, and we're going to stretch through the wrists here. Now let's release the fingers, give them a nice shake. Let's take the left hand across the body, right arm just above the bicep. We'll get a nice stretch through the left shoulder capsule, left hand reaching over to the right hand side. And let's give that a nice little shake and we'll change over to the opposite side. Breathing in and out through the nose, keep that long spine, draw the belly in. And then give that a release. Give it a nice shake. Let's extend the left hand out in front. Let's take the right hand, right fingers on top of the left fingers here, and we'll gently press the left fingers towards your shoulder. Get a nice stretch just underneath the wrist there. Then give that a shake, then change over to the opposite side. And we'll do the same here and give that a nice shake. Now we're going to move into cat-cow posture. Important point to know with cat-cow posture, you want to make sure you've got a nice solid base. That means make sure your fingers are well spread apart and your palm is flat on the ground. So let's go into it. So from here, let's get the fingers well spread here. I should not be able to lift the fingers off the ground. That's how close I want the contact and how strong I want the contact to the mat. Palm is flat on the ground. And also, I want you to hug the elbow in or hug the shoulder in. We're getting a nice spiral rotation between the shoulder and the wrist. We want to make sure our wrists are in line with our knee and our shoulders are stacked over our wrists and our hips are stacked over our knees. So let's adjust yourself right now to make sure you're in that position. Also make sure your leg is parallel to your knee so it's not splaying out to the side or internally rotated. So we'll come into our starting position here. We're going to go into cat position. For cat position, we're going to draw the belly in. So we're going to activate the belly, draw the lower belly in towards the spine, and then we're going to extend the shoulder girdle, or what we call the cobra hood, up to the sky. So let's do that now. And then exhale, releasing. We'll lengthen the tailbone, and then we'll look up. And then inhale, draw the belly in, extend the shoulder girdle away. Make sure that alignment is correctly in place as we move through the motion. It's a good spinal mobility exercise this, lifting the head up, lengthen the tailbone. And we go one more time. Inhaling, extend the shoulder girdle away, and then final time, lengthening away. Now let's draw the toes together and we'll come into what we call is child's pose or balasana. Just release the hands there for a moment, give the wrists a nice rotation there, wriggle the fingers. If balasana is a challenging position for you, or child's pose as it's called, then you can place a rolled up mat here for a moment. We're going to be here or a towel, a cushion, or even a blanket. So let's just relax here for a moment in our child's pose. The next pose we're going to go into is a high plank. So let's draw our hands forward. Let's make sure the hands are equidistant apart and the shoulder width apart. Then we're going to extend our right leg out and our left leg out. From here we're coming to our high plank. Let's make sure our heels are pressing away and our torso is lengthening, our head is lengthening. And then we're going to draw the hips to the sky. We're going to come into our downward facing dog. We're in downward facing dog here. We're going to pedal the heels back and forward. We're going to lengthen the calves, lengthen the hamstring, lifting the hips away. We're working the heels towards the ground. You might notice my high arches. I'm continually working on my flexibility. Feet should be fist-width distance apart here. And we're pressing the palms into the ground. We want upside down V here. In our downward facing dog, we're looking to our belly button. So from here, we're going to step the feet together. We're going to go into a rolling knee. Step the feet together. We can extend the left foot to the sky. We're going to fold the heel to the sit bone. Then we're going to rise up on the ball of the right foot. And then we're going to roll the spine forward as we draw the knee in. Activate the lower belly, creating space. Extend the shoulder girdle away like we were doing before with the cobra hood. And then we step the feet between the hands. We'll come onto our finger pads here, or it can be still on your palms. Let's take the weight into your left foot and we'll step the right leg forward next to the left foot. And then we'll forward fold into our Uttanasana and just release our body here completely nice and relaxed. We'll take a couple of breaths here. Take a moment to feel nice and calm and peaceful. And then inhale, slowly rolling up. Let's lengthen the hands up towards the sky into Tadasana, mountain pose. Let's make sure, let's lift the toes up and then ground the toes into the mat. Make sure you've got a solid base here. Let's draw the belly in. Let's activate the glutes. Make sure the shoulders are nice and relaxed and we're lengthening away within our Tadasana pose. Now inhale and exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Come all the way down. This time let's grab behind the heels, round the calves, and we'll sit our belly onto our thighs. And we'll work to lengthen the hamstrings away, lengthen the calves by lifting the hips up to the sky. Find that place of tension. Hold it there and then release. Place the hands down to the floor. Take the weight into your left foot and we step the right leg back. From here, we take the left foot and we step that back. We come into our high plank and we'll lower our knees to the floor and come into our child's pose. From here, we'll just relax the hands back, rotate the wrists, rotate the fingers, and feel nice and calm and relaxed. Any weight on the wrist can be reasonably challenging. That's why we go through the wrist mobility exercises to start off with. And we continue in between the poses to take a moment to reset. And sometimes the transition between the poses is one of the most important parts of your practice. It gives you a chance to reset and prepare yourself for the following postures. Now let's come back into our 4-point base. Let's make sure our alignment's there. We'll step the right leg back and left leg back. And we'll come into our high plank. Just hold here for a moment. And we'll draw the hips back to the sky and we come back into our downward facing dog. Let's adjust the feet so they're fist-width distance apart between the spacing. And pressing into the mat, lengthen the calves, lengthen the hamstring, lengthen the hips away. If you've got high arches like myself, you can bend the knees to get an a fuller stretch through the shoulders, pressing into the mat. Then we'll come back to our downward facing dog. Now we're going to step the feet together. This time I'm going to take the right leg to the sky, fold the heel to the sit bone, and we'll come up on the ball of the left foot, and we'll slowly draw that right knee in, rolling forward with the spine, activating that cobra hood, pressing the ground away, and then stepping the right foot forward, taking the weight into our finger pads or the palms, whatever's more comfortable for you here, and then stepping the left foot in next to the right foot, and then we forward fold Uttanasana. Let's completely relax the upper half of the body. And we'll take a couple of breaths here. And then we'll slowly draw up, vertebra by vertebra, rolling up. And we'll extend the leg, hands up to the sky, into Tadasana. Inhale, exhale. Find your point of balance, your point of awareness. If you're comfortable, you can close your eyes. Make sure you're centered on your feet. Find that point of balance. And then slowly open your eyes if they were closed. And then inhale, exhale, forward fold Uttanasana. This time let's grab behind the heels and the calves as we forward fold on to our knees. Let's lengthen the hips away, working the length in the calves, the hamstrings. And then slowly releasing, placing the hands down to the mat. Let's take the weight into the right leg, and this time we'll step the left leg back into our high lunge, and then we'll take the right foot back, come into our high plank. Hold here for a moment. Activate the glutes, activate the core, feel the length in the spine, and then we'll slowly take the knees down into our child's pose, and we finish here at the moment. Extend the hands out in front, get a nice extended child's pose here. Let's take a couple of nice long breaths here. And then we'll slowly come up to Sukhasana, sitting posture. We're going to go into Supta Baddha Konasana here, which is supine bound angle pose. But I just want to quickly point out a couple of points before we go into it. So we're in bound angle pose, or Baddha Konasana. And this would be your starting position if you were doing it whilst you're sitting up. We're going to be lying down, but I want just a quick couple of pointers here. I want to make sure that the balls of the foot are touching and we're actually pressing in the balls of the foot together, and the heels are pressing in also. And then we're working our knees down towards the mat. As this is a supine position, we can get in more of a comfortable, more of a yin type pose, and we can place some cushions underneath our knees, and we can also put a rolled up mat underneath our back, or even a bolster. And maybe I'll show that in a future video, what that would actually look as a supported Baddha Konasana. But for now, I'm going to draw the feet together, draw them up towards your pelvic area, and then we're going to slowly take our hands back, and then we'll lower down into our supine position or lying position all the way down. Take our head down to the mat, hands out to the side, and we'll just let our hips open and relax, and let gravity work its magic. As I said, if this is a challenging pose for you, you can also, as I said, you can place some cushions underneath to support your thighs here. It's a great hip opener here, this one. And we'll slowly close our eyes. Let's take a moment in this position just to let ourselves relax. Feeling nice and calm and peaceful. Make sure you're pressing the feet together. And now let's slowly draw the knees up together. And we'll draw them up towards our chest. Let's place the hands around the front of the knees. And let's draw the knees in. Just get a nice bit of release along the lower back with this particular Supta in relieving pose. And then we're going to take our hand to the front of the knees and we're going to slowly start a rolling motion backwards and forwards. A nice spinal massage with this movement. Rolling gradually higher and higher. And then we're rolling all the way up to our feet come onto the mat. Now we're going to move into Viparita Karani, which is legs up the wall. So if you've got a wall close by, like I have, then bring your mat over to the wall. If not, then grab a chair and you can place your legs onto the chair. So with the wall, pull the mat over nice and close. And then we'll come up, we'll get our hip nice and close to the wall here. And then we'll just lean back and slowly draw our feet up. And we'll just shuffle around. Try and get our buttocks as close to the wall. If you feel you've got a bit of space there, hyperlordosis, then you can place a mat or a blanket or a cushion underneath to support your lower back here. Now let's take our hands out to the side. We'll keep the pelvis neutral here and the feet nice and lined up on the wall. This is a great pose if you've been on your feet all day, if you've been cycling, if you've been running, any practice, leg work at the gym, any practice where you're working your feet a lot during a particular day. A couple of minutes of this does absolute wonders. I love it, especially after cycle rides. And we can close our eyes here. We're going to be here for a few moments. So just be relaxed, be calm, be peaceful. There's a reason why we're going slowly through these postures. You know, we're winding down for a deeper sleep. So the body wants to get used to that winding down, relaxing completely. Now let's slowly draw our knees down. And we'll slowly take our knees over to the left-hand side with control, nice and slowly, slow as you can. And then we'll come back up to our sitting posture. Adjust your mat back into the room where it's nice and central for me, so you can see me in the video. I'll come back to here. And we'll go into our final posture, which is Shavasana or corpse pose. So we want to take our feet out as wide as the mat, heels in, toes out, and then we'll slowly lower down all the way down. And then we'll take our hands nice and wide. If you feel you're going to be here for probably 5 minutes or so, if you feel like you get a little bit cold in this position, you can always put a blanket over yourself just to completely keep yourself nice and warm. I'm fairly warm-blooded, so I don't need any blankets or anything like that. I'm good to go. And let's completely relax the body from the feet all the way to the head. I like to go through a simple yoga nidra sequence. In my mind's eye, I say to my feet, relax. And with each part as I move up the body, I'm asking the body to relax even more. The knees, the hips, lower belly, fingers, wrists, shoulders, hips, especially areas that you feel a lot of tension in, or common areas that feel a lot of tension. Neck, face, mouth, nose, forehead, relax. And now let's tune into the music and relax even deeper. And now we'll slowly start to wriggle the toes, wriggle the fingers. Start to slowly open your eyes. Reorientate yourself back into the room. Feel the body on the mat. Let's draw the feet together. Let's draw the right leg up, place the right foot onto the ground, and then we'll shift our hips over to the right hand side, and we'll slowly roll over to the left, and then we'll press ourselves up into our Sukhasana or easy posture to finish the class with our Namaste. Namaste. So, there you go, viewers. I hope you enjoyed that class. If you did, give it a like. If you've got any comments, please let me know. The sequence of postures was put together to give you the best quality of sleep possible. For me, I have better deeper sleep and better REM sleep. The only thing left for you to do now is either you can do the meditation here, about another 10 minutes, which is completely the icing on the cake, or brush the fangs, the teeth, and then hit the sack for a great night's sleep. If this is your first time here, remember to subscribe and hit the notification button so you get notified when I publish new videos. Until that time, have an awesome night's sleep wherever you are in the world, and thank you so much for joining me today, and Namaste. Namaste.